Today, the workout focus is intervals, and it's going to be 5 by 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off. Now you might wonder why for UTMB and ultramarathon doing speed work. Well, the way my plan works is that I do the more specific training sessions closer to the race. So further away, 30 weeks out, or 29.5 weeks out now, I do speed work, lots of shorter intervals, and then closer to the race they get more specific steady state runs, tempo runs, that type of thing. So I'm a warm up, which admittedly is more of a hike than a run to warm up, to get up onto the ridgeline where it's a bit flatter. The rationale for the 5 by 3 minutes is that it's just easing back into the intervals really. I will do more of them, I will do some with longer duration as well in this phase, but it's all about getting into heart rate zone 5, which for me is above threshold, towards the end of these sessions, and then having adequate recovery so that I can go hard on the next one, but not so long that I'm fully rested. So I will share the stats afterwards of how it went, so you can see heart rate and the pace that I'm going at for these intervals. And as it's the first one that I've done, I'm not expecting it to be particularly good, as this is the first hard interval session I will have done for some time. But later in the week I'll also be doing a 6 by 3 minutes, so only increasing it by 1 extra rep. And then as the build weeks continue in this build block, there will either be an increase in number of reps or an increase in the minutes. I may also be reducing the recovery period as well. So there's a number of different areas that you can manipulate to make the session harder or easier as you wish. So this is a running track that I use. It's a little bit wet at the moment, so you have to dodge the odd puddle, but it does have some good distractions from when the intervals get really tough, like this view over here. As you can see, it's not flat, it's basically a U shape, so gets me a bit of elevation as well, which I'm not too bothered about. Means the interval's generally a bit slower, but it gets extra elevation, which, if you watch the week 1 video, is something I'm very keen on, to make sure that I get enough elevation in the leg. So I'm going to do some drills just to make sure I'm fully warmed up before the first interval. For me, is normally about 15 to 20 minute warm up, and that'll involve some drills, so high knees, bum flicks, as you just saw, and then also a few accelerations as well, to make sure that I'm properly warmed up ahead of going hard in the intervals. That's intervals done, 5 by 3 minutes. It was not pleasant. You can tell I haven't done enough speed work recently, too much time resting. So I did 5 by 3. It wasn't particularly fast, I don't think, but I have to accept that there was a bit of climbing there. I did see, I think think on every interval I was getting above 181, maybe up to 182 heart rate on every set, so I was pushing pretty hard. So I'm going to go down and have a look at the data. That's me back home and just downloaded the data and done a bit of analysis on it, and it's quite interesting looking at the splits. The first few, well, first two anyway, aren't as bad or as slow as I thought they would be. So when I put the data into Training Peaks and done a bit of analysis on it, what I can see is that overall my heart rates, average heart rate for the 5 intervals was 177, 178, 176, 175, 175, and on each interval I was getting up to around 183 max on average there. The splits in minutes per kilometre were around sort of 3:48 it started, and the slowest was 4:42, so I did slow down quite a lot, but that one did have more climbing. So what I also looked at was the normalised graded pace, NGP. For those of you that use Strava, if you want to follow my Strava as an aside, there's a link down below. But if you use Strava, you might have seen GAP, grade adjusted pace, and it's just trying to take out the impact of the hills on the run. And so the normalised graded pace in Training Peaks was between 3:40 and 4:12, so about 30 seconds difference when you take into consideration the hills. So not massively fast, a bit slower than I was previously when I last did intervals in November, but given that we're now in February, there has been a few months when I haven't done much speed work at all really. So it's a good starting point, it's a good base from what I can work on now, and I'll be able to, every interval session, I'll be looking at not just the heart rate, but also the pace and normalised graded pace as well. And hopefully what I will see is that when I do 3-minute intervals, 4-minute intervals, that the pace will increase slightly. And when it comes to longer intervals, I'm able to maintain the sort of paces that I'm doing now as a minimum. But I'm hoping on Saturday, when I do 6 by 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off, so only one extra interval than today, that there may be a slight improvement. So I will have to keep track of that. I hope you found this video interesting. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and share with your friends. If you know anybody that's doing UTMB, please direct them to the channel as well, because there's going to be a lot more content coming out in the coming months. And please make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. I'll see you next time.